According to this book right here, which has 13 pages full of scientific journal citations, the true key to happiness is having a balance between a dopaminergic life and having here and now molecules. That's complete gibberish. So, in normal person terms, it's basically having something to look forward to and aspire towards, a goal in mind, and also having appreciation for what you already have. Now, the interesting nuance about this book is that I've found out that your brain has a hard time both being happy with what you have and wanting more at the same time. I mean, it makes perfect sense. You can't be happy with what you have and want more. But the difference is periods of time by which you have which feeling. So, for example, you have 24 hours in a day, you sleep for 8 hours of them. So you really have 16 hours in your waking day. Balance, or 50-50, would be 8 of those hours are spent looking forward towards doing something or working towards a future goal. And the other 8 hours are going to be spent with things that are appreciating your current goal. Things that appreciating your current situation would be eating a good meal, talking to the people that you love, practicing gratitude. Working would be dopaminergic, something that is working towards a future goal. And literally what humans describe as happiness, that feeling that we have, that we determine as happiness, that eternal peace that we feel, is when we are living a balanced life between having something to look forward to, having something to fight for, and being appreciative for what we already have. We can't feel both at the same time, but our life can be filled with both at certain other times. And so that is really the true key to happiness, is having a balance of those two. What does that actually mean in context? So having a goal, having something to look forward to, is something that a lot of people, myself included, put on the front line. Like, that is the primary focus, is I'm working towards a bigger goal. And that is pretty much what I'm thinking about 80 to 90% of the time. And so I'm a highly dopaminergic person, which means that I'm typically less happy with what I have because I want more, or I want something else. On the other end, there's the people who are so happy with what they have, they actually have no desire to go out and get anything else. These are the couch potatoes, the Netflix watchers, the people who like to eat a lot of food, people who basically couch potato is what I would define these people as. And the people who are highly dopaminergic are going to be the ones who are working 60, 70 hours a week, constantly on the go, can never stop, not super fun to be around. And the goal should be to work hard and play hard. And that is really the definition of happiness. If you take both of these sides, the dopamine side of constantly working towards a goal, and then the serotonin, oxytocin, testosterone, the norepinephrine, like all of the other here and now neuromodulators on this side, you want to have a balance of those two. But like I said earlier, you can't have them both at the same time. And so you literally are forced to have a life where you work hard and you play hard, or work hard and rest hard. So the key then to happiness would be being able to flip the switch, because the hardest part by anything, compared to anything, as you probably would know, is going from one side to the other. It's very hard to transition from working and focusing on the future to being appreciative for what you have, because they're literally polar opposites. But that is genuinely the key to happiness, is being able to flip the switch at will when you need to. It's being able to wake up at 5 or 6 in the morning and go get shit done, and go on your runs and do what you need to do and work whatever your morning routine looks like. It doesn't matter if you're waking up at 4 a.m. or 8 a.m. or 10 a.m. or 3 p.m. It's getting the things done that you need to get done to go towards your future goal, whatever your aspirations may be, working on your business, working on your health, working in the gym. That is the stuff that you need to be able to go and focus 100% on, 100%, and try really hard, burn the tank. But then, as soon as it's time to rest, don't be unrestful. Restless, I guess, is the better way to put it. Don't be restless because you're not doing something to move towards your goal. That is most people's mistakes, is they have a goal, and if they're not working towards the goal, myself included here, like literally exactly me, you get restless if you're not constantly working towards that goal. But the problem is then you start to feel less happy, because then your life is leaning towards 80-20 dopamine instead of 50-50, what it should be. So you need to curb it. And when it's time to rest, when it is time to not be working, when you have friends in town, when you're going out to dinner with your wife or girlfriend, or you're going out with your friends, That is the time to be fully in the moment and to like fully play and rest. You should not be focused on work at all. And it goes back to the axiom that is, if you live in the present moment, you'll be happy. And I think it all balances out very well, because if you are living in the present moment, then you are working hard and playing hard. And by working hard and playing hard, you are balancing the dopamine and the other here and now molecules to create that happiness feeling in your brain. So that is literally the formula, is to live in the present moment. And the reason why living in the present moment does that is because if you are at work and you're living in the present moment, then you are focused entirely on work. You are working. You are full 100% dopamine. Then if you go out to dinner or you go out to a party and you're living in the present moment, then you're fully at the party. You're having fun. You're in fun mode. You're not thinking about work, because then you're not living on the present. You're not living in the present. You're living in the past or the future if you're thinking about work. You are fully in the present, meaning you are actually having fun and you are involving yourself in the party. Then you are playing. So by living in the present moment, naturally in life, we're going to experience the restful or playful parts of life, and then the work parts of life, which literally correspond to dopamine and serotonin, or all the other 9,000 different neurochemicals there are. And that is what balance is. And so the word balance, or the term balance, is thrown around a lot about, oh, you need to have a balanced life and this and that. And I hear a lot of people, myself included, denouncing the idea of balance, because successful people don't balance. They work all the time. But I would agree. They probably do work all the time and they don't balance, which is probably exactly why a lot of rich people say that money doesn't make you happy, is because they don't balance, because they're miserable. And the people confuse this question of, oh, well, rich people don't balance, therefore I shouldn't balance. Well, it depends on what your goals are, because you can't serve two masters. If you're trying to be happy and you're trying to be successful, a lot of the time those are two different masters, because in order to be successful, you have to go towards the working side. You have to have a little bit of unbalance towards the dopamine end of things and less appreciation for what you have. But in order to be happy, you have to curb back on that a little bit. You have to like tone it down. But that's counterintuitive. So a lot of people are warring against themselves between, oh, I'm not happy, but I'm going to work to be successful, or, oh, I want to be happy, and then they stop working. And so really it is, what's your goal? Like, in the core of it, are you trying to be happy, or are you trying to be successful? And what does success mean to you? Does success require a lot of work? Yes. Do you want it? Yes. Okay, then you're probably just naturally not going to be super happy. It doesn't mean you're going to be miserable, but you're going to be slightly less happy, because you're going to be pushed towards the dopamine side of the scale and away from the more appreciation, gratitude side of the scale that allows you for that balance that causes the literal feeling of happiness that humans feel. And that's okay, because that's the goal. But know that once you achieve that goal, which you will, then if your goal is then to be happy, you are going to have to cut back on the work. And it's very hard to cut back on working once you've achieved the goal, because we're unsatiable lions. And so once you hit the goal, you're going to set a new one and want to keep working towards it because of the momentum that you've built. And so that is why there's so much confusion between successful people or rich people being unhappy, is because rich people work a lot. And by working a lot, they're balancing that scale way off the charts to one side, in the dopamine side. And so they're less balanced, like hormonally, or neurochemically, I guess is the better way to say that. And that is literally what causes the unhappiness that is associated with rich people. So that was long-winded, but I hope you learned something. That is all in this book, The Molecule of More. I would highly recommend it. It's definitely a little bit of a mind screwer of a book, but I learned a lot about how humans work, and I think that this makes a lot of sense to me. Hopefully it makes a lot of sense to you. Otherwise, I'm logging every single day until I am a millionaire on this channel, teaching you guys all the different wisdom and interesting things that I'm learning along the way, so that hopefully everybody can look back and learn something new. But yeah, I will talk to any of you guys who are regularly here tomorrow.